Hey Savage, hope this video finds you well. I was saddened to see your comment about back out of the hospital. I don't know, hit me up on the text. Let's stay in touch, man. Yeah, that I changed the name was due to algorithm, because shit, certain things are, I don't know, it's all about the algorithm, right? I don't feel that I did William Money dirty in the least. And I don't feel that your observation that you commented about my video about, oh, the new lambdog nihilism. I don't know if you remember or not. There was a guy in the sewing circle group named Roller Podger, and he always presented a contrarian view to our group, and similar to Randy Tooth, and they formed a catalyst, opened the conversation, expanded the conversation. I'm not sure that I believe you. I'm not feeling the love that you confess to have for me about being a fence rider. Is it Sun Tzu? Know thy enemy as thyself. Something along those lines. Although I don't see Sun Tzu saying thy. He's he's sitting what in the third gate of hell, speaking the King James English. My video about Charlie Kirk, man, I feel mostly bad about not having more consideration, and you mentioned too the people that you love. Like there's people that I love that like Charlie Kirk. There's people that I love that hate Charlie Kirk, and in the case of this internet, I mean, there's a person I consider Shafe a dear internet friend. Excuse me for taking a moment to try to put these things into words, but I guess my poorly made point and my poorly timed point was, and to make it crystal clear, something terrible happens. Fate finds us, right? And we need to find meaning in it. And when someone is extraordinary, we almost have a hyperlink, a fast forward to assign meaning to it. And what I observed was both sides of this thing, both the left and the right, assigning meaning to the situation. What I was trying to explain was how, the nuts and bolts of a true homicidal ideation. And I get how it could be misunderstood. I really, man, what you said about the punchable face and the thing that Corey said about me looking like Charlie Kirk fast forwarding his life and letting himself go for 20 years. I laughed, but it also hurt my heart. And here's why. It made me miss Corey all the same. Was it a year ago? Maybe 2 years ago. We had our text group, and maybe I'm not a part of it anymore. Again, because of how much you and the boys love my fence riding, right? And we would be able to joke around, Me, you, a Skep Mental Patient, Shafe, PD Lumina, and Corey left the text, after I said something insensitive and what I was presenting as like a gallows humor. I have a point with this. He left that conversation, and maybe he just left it because he's busy and he doesn't like getting texts. Maybe. Greater than zero probability, right? Does a 90% probability of an opinion on the other side, change what the response needs to be? Maybe yes, maybe no. But greatness, I don't think, serves as divisiveness. And I'm not saying that a particular individual, great versus not great, but what does it accomplish that, oh, well, I can outsmart you, so therefore, whatever it is that puts you to this point, whatever you're feeling inside is invalid? How do you convince the other person to come away from the insanity that they're pursuing? Do you do it from the furthest end of the disagreement spectrum? It sucks because it's made me maybe less of a friend on here, but the worst thing I ever did, and I can't remember the guy's name, and I probably should, but it was like this master class on negotiation this old retired FBI did, and I made the terrible mistake of doing it, And the end, though, the other mistake I made was riot training for civilians. That's fucked up. And I'll get to that here in a second because of the saber rattling that you did in your video about how ill-prepared the left is compared to the right. But I understand your point was on their violence. So, and this is something that I'll probably get into with the Great White Stoke in my approach to my response to him when I insensitively defined bigot. Where in this discussion are we cool? What are we really trying to accomplish? What are we really, really, really trying to accomplish? I mean, way, way, way in the end. At what point in this discussion back and forth are we arguing about the same thing, but we're hung up on semantics or where somebody is on a point of view? And then here's my greatest concern in that. What force is it that fans those flames of confusion and discord? Riot training. That's probably the worst one that I can't get out of my head. So it's a philosophy, right? And I apologize if you've been exposed to this sort of thing. I know you've been around, and I don't mean that in the tone I just meant it as. I'm just saying you had said in the past you've had some training. So the rules of riots. It's a force of nature, right? Rule number 1, don't go. Right? So I work that into my Florida man thing. Which, didn't Corey say something about me being a disgrace to claim the Florida thing because I don't believe in freedom? Some shit like that. But I might be wrong. Maybe it's how my brain's twisted it and my sadness of him not loving me as much as he used to. But rule number 1, don't go. It's a force of nature. Rule number 2, if you're armed, kill the other asshole that doesn't have a gun. Rule number 3, kill the asshole with a megaphone. Now, please don't assign, I'm not saying that as that's not what I mean as far as like what happened to Charlie Kirk during the thing and being murdered publicly. That's not what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm trying to say, I said. I just pointed out how the riot thing has fucked up my perspective on so many things. Oh, now I know why I brought that up. The whole right being stronger than the left. That's where I was going with that. Man. Kyle Rittenhouse. Again, punchable face. Come on, tell me I'm wrong. He looks like if Corey C. was a baby who looked exactly like he looks right now, but without tattoos and hair. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse. This kid with a Bobo rifle with what I consider to be a Bobo caliber. You know me. I'm a 30 caliber and up kind of guy. One kid with one rifle. I don't know how many rounds he discharged. This kid was in the middle of hell. In the middle of hell, right? One kid, one rifle. Let's say it's 10 rounds discharged. He kept a crowd of hundreds of people bent on his murder at bay. So if the left didn't see that as an example, I don't know what will. I mean, it's terrifying. It's really, really terrifying. And I think it should remain terrifying. Another example would be that couple in the gated community. A dorky guy with an AR-15 and his wife with, I don't know, was she holding like a Bursa or some shit like that? I don't know. It was like an A2. Why do I say, you and I know guns well enough, and I'd be like, an AR platform. Look like a fucking A2 from his time as a Cold War veteran, right? With his tucked in muffin top. In my memory, it's a salmon polo. Held off 20 motherfuckers bent on the destruction of him and his house. Still, the left doesn't care. You know, they talk about ICE and their super cute boots. It's this really, really messed up brainwashing. And how do you deprogram that, man? Maybe you can't. But something is using the divisiveness, fanning the flames, and putting an advertisement for Pfizer on top of it, bro. It's not that the revolution will be televised. The revolution will be televised and selling ad shares. That's really my problem. And that it costs friendships, and that I can't be chill and fun with my boy. That's fucked up and a shame. As for my nihilism, or lack of nihilism, or how I balance it, it's a struggle between nihilism and what I see as the meaning of life. So, energy is not created or destroyed. Maybe life can't be actually lost, right? Say we die, whatever, energy and heat, if it can't be destroyed, then it just changes form scientifically, right? But the meaning of human life would be my existence and your existence. The true meaning of life is our lives as we live. And it would be a shame and when somebody is cut down, let's, cut down untimely, right? Is the way we see it. Something is taken from that meaning of life. And I think people foolishly magnify how others affect that meaning of life. And is it magnified because they're telling you something that you already know? Is it Henry Rollins? Like, I'll tell you things you already know so that you can say, I really identify with you, man. That's biased me, if you know the name of that little prose. All right, bro. Thank you for the response. And hit me up, text. See you.